Brothers and sisters, thanks for joining. Hey, today I came across a story that I've been waiting for weeks. This one is in the New York Post, and I'll post the link later onto the YouTube, so it'll be there for you. But it's in the politics section, breaking. This is August the 4th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It posted, so this is hot off the press. Ex-Obama officials face federal grand jury probe into whether they promoted false Trump Russia ties. Yes, good. I've been waiting to see this. With the information that Tulsi Gabbard released a few weeks ago, I want there to be arrests. Just a little background. Tulsi Gabbard is the new director of national intelligence. So basically all the spies in America work for her. And she declassified several documents that basically indicate that the then sitting President Obama, ordered his people to do a new finding that supported that Trump was in the pocket of Russia. Trump had already been elected at the time, and according to Tulsi Gabbard's information, the intelligence experts, the top two Russia desk experts, said that, hey, the Steele dossier was fake, and it was all kind of made up by Hillary Clinton, and that they couldn't find any corroboration to anything that was in that dossier, and so it was really just a Democratic hit job. Instead of going with that, Obama ordered them to go write up a new finding that did support that Trump was in the pocket of Russia. And then the next 2-3 years happened. I see this as just as bad as Watergate, if not worse. You've got a outgoing president, he's still president, ordering the national security apparatus to basically say that Trump was working for Russia. That undermines the incoming duly elected president. So what the heck? You can't do that. And several of them absolutely lied to Congress if this information is true. And I've said for a while, I don't know for sure if it's true, but if it is, we need an investigation. And if there's evidence that this is true, some people should be arrested, and then let the courts decide, what happens to them. And I want it to all be fair. I don't want a kangaroo court like they had for the January 6th folks. And just before anyone jumps on me about all that, I think the January 6th folks, Trump made a mistake. He should not have pardoned as many as he did. I think he pardoned all but something like 10. If I've got that wrong, tell me in the comments. 10 of like the worst ones he didn't pardon. I don't think he should have pardoned any of the violent ones. He should have just let that be, or maybe commuted their sentences. Everyone else, I'm fine with the pardon because I think they were overcharged. At worst, I think the rest of the people, the nonviolent, it was a protest that got out of hand, turned into a little bit of a riot, and and so really it was most of the people, it was really criminal trespass is what they should have got. And then so they should have got fines or, I don't know, a year or two in jail, but they got far worse than that and had to deal with the legal process for more than a year or two. Some of them were in jail for 2-3 years, and they got big fines. And this is even ones that weren't violent. And so I don't understand. Normally, when you have a sit-in or something, charges just get dismissed, or occasionally you'll get a fine. So I think they were overcharged. So I do think Trump was right in pardoning the normal folks who were just walking through the Capitol. That's criminal trespass. So they, if they stole something, then charge them with robbery and get them with that or whatever the crime is. But I think they overcharged all of them. But anyway, so that's my thoughts on that. It was a protest that got out of hand and turned into a criminal trespass situation. And there were some assaults on police, and those people should be charged with assault and should face the normal penalty for assault on a police officer. And don't believe the media and Democratic talking points. Only one person died that day from a gunshot, and she was a protester climbing over a barrier unarmed, and she was shot by a lunatic police officer who should be charged with at least manslaughter at the very least, I believe, and because there was no reason to shoot her, and no police officers died that day. One did die the next day or 2 days later from a heart attack, and a couple did die from suicide in the days following. But one thing to note is none of the January 6th protesters were charged with murder, and the Democrats would have done it if they thought they could make it stick. So there was no murder in January 6th by protesters against police. The only potential murder I see was was Ashley Babbitt, I think her name was, who was murdered by a police officer. And if I got that wrong, tell me in the comments. But anyway, let's get back to this. I digress, as I often do. So ex-Obama officials face federal grand jury probe into whether they promoted false Trump-Russia ties. Good. The Justice Department is opening a federal grand jury investigation of former Obama administration officials who allegedly conspired to whip up a scandal about President Trump's purported links to Russia during the 2016 election campaign, the Post has learned. The major legal development opens the door to criminal charges against prominent cabinet members who served then President Barack Obama, including former Director of Intelligence James Clapper, former CIA Director John Brennan, and former FBI Director James Comey. It was not immediately clear whether the grand jury would be based in the heavily Democratic Washington, D.C. or elsewhere. Yes, of course, the federal prosecutors are going to attempt to get the venue outside of Washington, D.C. Because it's all Democrats there. I think it was like 93% voted for Hillary. Sorry, I'm wiping my nose because I got a cat in my lap, and he got hair on my face, and now I'm itching. The Trump and current DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, have called for a federal probe into the early days of the Russia collusion probe, dubbed Crossfire Hurricane, though the commander-in-chief himself has acknowledged that his predecessor is likely immune from prosecution due to the 2024 Supreme Court ruling on criminality of official presidential acts. Yeah, so no matter what Obama did here, he likely cannot be prosecuted. I do think there's a strong presumption that he was acting in his official capacity as president, but some of his people don't have such heavy protection. And so I'd like to see the full investigation. I'd like to see it come out in open court. Who did what? Who ordered what? Even if you can't throw Obama in jail, if he did bad things, I want the American people to know about it. And then if we can throw some of these people in jail, let's do it, because I don't want them to do it again. Oh, good. The cat just left. So hopefully that'll help. So yeah, I'm all in favor of this. The president has accused the former officials of a treasonous and seditious conspiracy to undermine his first-term agenda, which ultimately led to more than 2 years of leaky investigations before Special Counsel Robert Mueller turned up no evidence of collusion. And it's crazy. We wasted all this time and money, and our intelligence operatives and Obama, President Obama, who kind of started all this, and Hillary Clinton knew that this was fake. And they made us waste all this time to dirty up Trump. And I'm not saying Trump hasn't done dirty stuff, but get him for what he really did. Don't make stuff up. Fox News first reported the grand jury investigation, which faces significant hurdles due to statutes of limitation for certain offenses. Yeah, I say same thing. Get them for what you can. Let's get it all out there in open court, read into the record, so everyone in America can know what these sleazeballs did. Because I don't want them to do it again. Even if you can't throw any of them in jail, if this goes out, it'll ruin their reputations, I hope, if they did criminal things, even if you can't put them in jail. And then this will be a lesson. Hey, guys, don't do this again. Trump was criminally indicted twice by the Biden Justice Department and twice more by Democratic district attorneys as he sought a second non-consecutive term. And he has frequently suggested in recent days that he was too lenient with adversaries during his first term. Yeah, Trump was trying to be somewhat presidential and didn't go after Hillary for her emails. And he didn't go after, other people in the government, the previous government, for what they did that was illegal. But then they went after him and cooked the books and basically smeared him with he is a convicted felon for 34 bookkeeping errors. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments, but I'll have that discussion with you. I let 2016 Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton off the hook, Trump told Newsmax host Rob Finnerty on Friday, referring to former Secretary of State's possession of classified information on a private home email server. Yeah, she absolutely broke the law on that email server and destroyed it, and Obama let her get away with it. Everyone knows it if you actually look at it objectively. I let her off the hook for what? And then I come in and they did the same thing to me. The difference is they actually meant it and they hurt a lot of people and it was all a hoax. And now I have it all in black and white. No, I think they should pay a price. Fully agree. Gabbard, a former Hawaii Democratic congresswoman, sent a criminal referral to Attorney General Pam Bondi last month, raising the possibility that Obama and others broke the law. After the Department of Justice had already opened the probes into Comey and Brennan for allegedly lying to Congress. Yeah, see, notice my emphasis. Gabbard used to be a Democratic congresswoman. They basically ostracized her because she wouldn't go along with fixing the Democratic primary in 2016. So Bernie couldn't win, made it impossible for Bernie to win, and because she wouldn't toe the line when Obama was dropping bombs on Syria. She didn't want us dropping bombs on Syria, but she wouldn't toe the line like a good Democratic congressman, so they threw her out. And now she's getting some payback. And an email released by Gabbard showed that Obama ordered an intelligence assessment that found Russia intervened to help defeat Clinton, though Gabbard said U.S. intercepts actually showed that Russia expected Clinton to win and held back damaging material on her that they had for later release. Yeah, the damaging material, it's alleged that the Russians knew Hillary was really sick at the time and was hiding it, and that if that got out, that could hurt her chances of becoming president. Something like that. I may have the facts wrong. Again, tell me in the comments if I got that wrong. This is like proof, irrefutable proof, that Obama was seditious. Ooh, those are big words there. That Obama was trying to lead a coup. I don't know about a coup, but he was trying to make Trump look really bad to make it more difficult for him to get anything done. This is the duly elected incoming president. You shouldn't be able to do that. But Obama did, but because he was president, he might get away with it. But his people might not. And it was Hillary Clinton with all these other people, but Obama headed it up. If he did order that new intelligence assessment, I think a reasonable person could come to that conclusion. We will see what a jury thinks about it, I hope. Trump said last month, Brennan, 69, is believed to be under investigation for allegedly lying to Congress in 2023 about ex-British spy Christopher Steele's dossier of salacious claims against Trump. Steele was paid by conservative Washington Free Beacon and later by Hillary Clinton's 2000 campaign and Democratic National Committee to put together an opposition file on Trump, and the document helped underpin the later investigations. So that is the Steele dossier, which everything is based on, which was really just a Democratic research against Trump, which has been debunked now after the media for years said it was real. And now everyone knows Obama knew it was fake right at the beginning. And we wasted all this time and tried to dirty Trump up with this. It's just crazy. And then Brennan lied to Congress allegedly, that this thing was real. And these documents show it wasn't. And then the other people that are going to get in trouble are Department of Justice and FBI. I think lawyers went to the courts and got warrants to wiretap Trump before he was president, based on information out of the Steele dossier being real. They knew it wasn't real, and they still used it and said to a court that it was real, basically. So I would say Brennan should watch out. He could be in legal jeopardy for sure for lying to Congress. And whatever lawyers said that the Steele dossier was real to the courts, and so that's how they got wiretaps on Trump and Trump's or Trump's people. I believe those are both crimes. And if I'm Trump in a Republican Congress, I'm in no mood for it. I would throw them in jail. I 100% would throw them in jail. I would throw Obama in jail if I could, if what he did rises to that level of criminality. If a court found that Obama had done it, and normally you could throw somebody in jail for what he did, I'd love to see him thrown in jail. And in the past, I wouldn't have said that. I always said that I was happy that Ford pardoned Nixon because it was bad for the country. Watergate was bad for the country. But the Democrats tried to throw Trump in jail for 34 felonies that are bookkeeping errors, tried to keep him off the ballot. So they weaponized the Justice Department first. And so I would do this. I would just do it back to them to, so they teach them a lesson not to do it again. Now, I would use real evidence. I want real evidence of real crimes. I'd like a fair jury, and then the penalty should be whatever a normal person would get for doing this. That's what I'd like to see. So Brennan told Congress in May 2023 the CIA was very much opposed to having any reference of inclusion of the Steele dossier in a major intelligence report, but records show he actually wrote at the time, "I believe the information warrants inclusion in the Obama ordered assessment." So when they did the assessment, he said we should put it in, but then later told Congress, I didn't really want it put in, because by then he knew it was he knew he was in some jeopardy with Congress. So he claimed that he thought it was real, but that later he thought it shouldn't have been in there. Comey 64. So Comey was the head of the FBI for a while. He was the FBI director. Was interviewed in May by Secret Service after posting an image interpreted as a threat against Trump, and was accused by Republicans of lying to Congress in 2017. Giving false testimony to Congress carries a penalty of up to 5 years in prison, but has a 5-year statute of limitation. Treason does not have a statute of limitations, but no American has been convicted on that charge since 1949. I think treason is a bridge too far. I don't think they can get him for treason, because my reading of the Constitution is treason is giving aid and comfort to the enemy in wartime, something like that. And we're not at war with anybody. So we're talking about Russia collusion. We're not at war with Russia or anybody. So I think treason is a bit much, but I would look for some law I could get them on, even if it wasn't this sedition thing or whatever, or lying to Congress. I'd find something that the statute of limitations hadn't passed yet to charge them with, just so I could get all this information out in open court, read into the public record, so that people would know what happened. Then you can make your own decision. And hopefully it's enough that a jury would send him to jail for. It's possible that prosecutors could develop a novel legal theory to revive seemingly expired charges, as performed by Manhattan attorney Alvin Bragg last year when he won the 34-count felony conviction against Trump for falsifying business records to conceal the 2016 hush money payments. Yeah, because I bet most people couldn't even tell me what that case was about and what those 34 felonies are. It was 34 bookkeeping errors that normally in New York court would be 34 potential misdemeanors, and you'd have to pay a fine. But they alleged there was some kind of underlying crime that turned it into a felony without proving what the underlying crime was. The whole thing's crazy. I do expect Trump to get off on appeal there. I should really look that up and see how that's going. I'm sure that's going through the appeals process. But anyways, that's what I thought. Put him in jail. Hey, let me know if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if I got things wrong. Like and subscribe if you did. Don't watch me if you didn't. And we'll do it again soon. Thanks. Bye.